Hey everyone, this is Norvell Central coming back at you with another YouTube video. And I won't get too much into the intro. I just want to get straight into it and kind of see the reasoning why you're watching this video. And this is because I'm going to be talking about Azareye'h Thomas. This is a guy that a lot of people are talking about, specifically because of all the Brownlee drama and debacle that's going on right now. A lot of people are kind of penciling him into the starting role right now as a true freshman. And I definitely think that that could be a possibility, especially with this 6'2", 187-pound frame. You know, he could play either safety or corner. They're specifically going to be playing him at corner, so that's going to be really exciting to see how that kind of works out in that shape. But I'm really excited to see how Thomas really utilizes his instincts, his ball skills, everything like that. Coming out of high school, out of Niceville, Florida, he was a four-star prospect that I didn't really think we even had a chance at, really, because Florida was in the mix, LSU, even Georgia Tech, where his brother played at, was a big factor. Oklahoma was a big factor as well. There were just a lot of schools vying for him. And, you know, you saw Oklahoma have the coaching change. You saw Florida had the coaching change. LSU had the coaching change. And Georgia Tech is uncertain with their coach right now. You could see him getting fired after this season with a difficult schedule this season. So, even though those four teams were in the mix, Florida State didn't really give up on recruiting him, and that was a really big factor in there. I know that the basically debacle with Travis Hunter didn't really play in our favor, and I get that, you know, we could have had the trio of Hunter, McCall, and also Thomas, but, you know, things worked out the way it did, and that's just how we're going to have to face it. So, of course, you know, Thomas, you know, he brings a level of experience on the wide receiver position and also the secondary position coming out of high school. And he had about 400 yards as a high schooler as a wide receiver. And then you also look at about, I think it was 3 interceptions during his last senior season. Didn't even allow a touchdown all season. It was very impressive to see with that. And I really thought that he was going to be utilized more as a safety earlier on when we recruited him. But once he kind of got into the program and the staff really looked at him as a cornerback, I could totally see how cornerback could really fit his mold. And the one biggest bold prediction I had coming into the season a couple of weeks ago before spring practice even started was I thought Azareye'h Thomas would be that guy that would step in as about the middle of the season, kind of like a Marion Cooper did. You know, Cooper started out his really coming on strong against Miami, where he had 4 pass defense, and then he also had an interception that was really crucial in the first quarter. So you really look at a guy like that where it can emerge as that. I thought the only stepping stone was basically Jarvis Brownlee. I thought the redshirt sophomore was going to come in. He played 12 games last season. He played really well in some games, played pretty poorly in some games as well. It was kind of a mixed bag of results. So I thought that there was a lot of potential for Thomas to kind of come in, learn, develop, and grow in the system because it is hard to play as a true freshman as it is already. So I really thought that that could be a situation where he can kind of split time with Brownlee sometimes. He can even come in as the main reserve, you know, even split time with a Marion Cooper sometimes, maybe even a Kevin Knowles if they want to put him in the nickel sometimes as well. I think he can play all over the defense. And even if he wanted to go and play with Akeem Dent and play safety or play with Jamie Robinson and play that safety position, I think he could do that. I think he is kind of a Swiss Army knife that we have at our disposal. I wouldn't necessarily put him at wide receiver just yet. I kind of want to see how he does. I don't think he's quite Travis Hunter-like where he plays both sides of the ball and you can put him anywhere he needs to be. But I do think that that's kind of a prototypical time for him to be able to kind of develop his skill set. Now, with sammccall, I've heard this a lot. I definitely think he's going to project as a safety personally. I think he's a really rangy defender. And I think Azareye'h Thomas, like I said, is going to probably end up as a cornerback. And you've seen the mission takeaways. You've seen how optimistic he is with the football in his hands. And you even saw that pick six that he had in practice. All of his teammates were coming together, and they all speak very highly of him. I mean, it's like, you know, this hardworking nature that Florida State's not really seen much out of their defenders. They've seen it in flashes. You know, you had Jerry and Jones that showed some flashes in a couple of games, specifically the North Carolina game. You had Jarvis Brownlee showing some confidence here and there. But, you know, you've tried to have Travis Shea last season at cornerback. It didn't really work out as much. Maybe the move to safety could be a little bit better for him this season. Maybe he sticks at cornerback and sticks it out. He's already made that switch from free safety to cornerback. So we'll definitely see how that move goes. Maybe Demore Tate kind of steps up in that role as well. Greedy Vance, another guy I think in the nickel, could play really well. Let's see what we have in Hunter Washington. I really don't know, but there's a lot of options at the cornerback position, so I'm not too nervous about Azareye'h Thomas kind of stepping up and being that future superstar that I think he will be. But I do think that Florida State really landed a talented defensive back, even though the adversity of losing Travis Hunter to Jackson State, I understand that that's a big moment in Florida State history. That's going to be something that people talk about from years and years to come. Even the Sam Howell debacle, people are going to talk about that, but he never beat Florida State. So there's a lot of different things that are going on through people's heads. And, they talk about Luke Altmaier and, Nico Marchio and different places like that. But you just kind of have to let that stuff go at times. You have to feel confident in what the ability of the staff is. You have to feel confident in what you have on the roster. And I think Azareye'h Thomas is a nice complementary piece to SammCall. I think those two could really work hand in hand together. I think we've really got some good pieces in Kevin Knowles, Marion Cooper, and also Jamie Robinson and Akeem Dent. You got a lot of pieces on this defensive backfield that can really be successful. So the next question is will he emerge as a true freshman? Because true freshmen really don't emerge that quickly in terms of just playing together and playing with a team. And you saw this earlier last season was the consistency in that defensive backfield. And really through the first 4 games, the 0-4 start, the secondary was probably one of the worst position units we had on the team. Then you started to see the emergence of a Marion Cooper. You started to see Kevin Knowles playing a little bit better. Then you also saw Jamie Robinson move back to safety. You saw Akeem Dent kind of emerge the last 3 or 4 games there. So there were a lot of pieces. Sidney Williams got hurt, so that kind of eliminated some of the consistency there. But I do think that this could be a situation where, Azareye'h Thomas could play really well in his role as a true freshman. And I'm very excited to see. I mean, they're going to be very competitive with having 10 scholarship cornerbacks, possibly 11 if you wanted to put SammCall in that mix as well, because I think he could play anywhere on the defense. But like I said, I think he's more suited for a safety position. But just overall, I really do like this cornerback room, and I like where Azareye'h Thomas is. I think he can be your number 1 cornerback without a doubt. I think he can be your leader on your team as a true freshman, and I definitely think that he steps up in a big, big way. Now, the biggest thing with me with his recruitment, there hasn't really been many Niceville products that have come out of there. Deontay Sheffield is one that comes to mind, a backup running back that Florida State had out of Niceville, and he's had some flash moments when he played at Florida State, but it wasn't really anything special. He already entered the transfer portal and went elsewhere. It just didn't really pan out. We had Keno McAnally that was a offensive lineman that eventually ended up elsewhere. You also had Austin Firestone as well, the offensive tackle. I thought he was a little bit more of a developmental project, but just overall, it was very surprising to see us get to Azareye'h Thomas because I really didn't know what to expect. I mean, usually you see those Niceville kids going to a Florida or a Miami or an LSU, all these other places, and you really don't see them going much to Florida State. So I really tried to figure out what he was going to be successful in going to Florida State. And I think the staff really hit the nail on the head with that because there is a lot of potential in his 6'2", 187-pound frame. And he's already gained 6 pounds since he's got here. So I think the potential is all there. He's got to get more, more up to speed with a lot of different things because, like I said, he is a true freshman. So he's got a lot of learning and developing to grow with that. But there's a lot to build on, though. I mean, those two that they had gotten in the 22 class are really going to be key and pivotal there, with McCall and Thomas. I think those two can be your generational talents for years to come. And it's something that we can talk about. I'm not going to ignite him and say, hey, he's going to be in the next Jalen Ramsey or Derwin James or Deion Sanders, whatever the case is. But I will say that he does have the potential to be something very, very good at Florida State if he puts his mind to it. And I think the staff really understands that, really understands his hard work and dedication, understands what he can do as a cornerback and also as a safety if he needs to be. I think Azareye'h Thomas is going to be a star. He's been overlooked all of his life. And I think that with the recruiting cycle, how everything kind of panned out, I think he kind of fell into Florida State's lap. And overall, I think Florida State really, really, really got a good one there. And I think he's really going to be something special. But let me know your thoughts on the video, and I really want to thank everyone for watching the whole video today. Please like, comment, and also subscribe to the channel. I'm almost at 1,000 subscribers. I'm trying to get a little bit more watch hours here and there, so longer videos are coming. But I do appreciate everyone. I appreciate all the support on the social media accounts. And as always, go Noles.